What's going on, traders? Welcome back to, of course, Start Swing Trading. I know it's been a week without me, and trust me, I know the markets can get confusing, and nothing worse than when you lose a week and come back. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely getting back into it slowly but surely. Got to get back into the current environment, ask myself the question, look around. Where's the money going? That's what this show's titled today. And we will take a look, of course, at where the money's going. We'll take a look at the sectors. We'll take a look at industries. We'll try to find what's hot and what's not. We'll take a look at what areas should we be taking a look at going forward, right? Should we be watching regional banks, the big banks? Should we be taking a look at, tech names? Apple reporting Thursday, AMD taking a hit today, reporting Tuesday after the bell. Which way are we going to go? Let's find out, of course. Let's get right into the market. It's good to see you guys out there. Easy Mike, welcome back. And yes, I know you guys are going to slowly leak in here. You guys haven't had a show here at 3 p.m. for a whole week. So I'm here, team. I'm ready to get back into it. And I got a swing trade on. We'll talk a little bit about that coming up. Let's get right to the action. And who knows? Maybe we take a little bit more trades as we go along. Let's get right into the SPY. The first thing we want to talk about, of course, the overall market. Let's take a look at the market right now. You guys can see here, we're starting to kind of leak here towards the end. And I feel like this is going to be a more leak that we're going to start to see. I think this is going to lead to a little bit of some weakness into Thursday, of course, Apple's earning. And I think we could see some stocks taking a pullback. But man, what a monster NVIDIA is. Highlight of the day, because this stock doesn't want to stop, can't stop through the resistance being that resistance at 280, 279, 89. Now blowing through up there to 289 today. Yet AMD was red earlier to begin the day with, now starting to fade a little bit off the VWAP. We're going to keep watch to see what happens on AMD here. I was even watching it, right? I mean, look at how it was moving in the pre-market. It was climbing, and then a quick fall right back down. It's good to see you guys out there. Smoke tuna. We missed the swing. Well, the swing's back, baby. The swing of Sultan out here. Let's get to the action. Walter, it's good to see you out there. Definitely good to see all the familiar faces in the chat. Let's keep it going. Let's get towards, of course, the QQQs. You guys can see how that's pulling back now. And I was looking at SQQQ here. I already took a little bit of position here at 28.82. So I'm just looking for this to continue riding up. I haven't taken any profits in the SQQQ trade, but yes, I'm swing trading the SQQQs, coming right into it here, team. So I got this on this little turnaround here. What did I see here? A bunch of bottoming up. Saw those wick downs, right? Buying pressure. As soon as we started coming right back up here, took my shot at 28.82. You can see that's right off of this. Not looking too bad on the SQQQs. We'll look for this to continue riding higher, maybe get up there towards the 29.39s, start pushing towards that next level. We'll see what happens, what we can get on this one. Also took another trade here today, brand new one here, Oracle, as I started seeing this one shoot off, but now we're slightly into the red in this position when we were just in the green and pretty decent. You can see here on the daily pattern here, it really looks good. So the risk on this is off 94s. I did just take a starter position at 95.07. That was right out the gates here. That was when we were breaking through the 95 here. Now we've come back below that. I'm going to look to see if we can come back towards kind of the opening low action, which was closer towards 94.50s, so that I can go ahead and add in that area and then risk off the 94. We'll see what happens here in Oracle. It doesn't look bad on the stock chart overall, so that's why I took the shot on this one. But of course, if it comes back through that 94 and especially that 93.50 area, I'd have to get out. We'll see what happens there on Oracle. Let's keep going. Let's get into the stocks overall. What's doing well today? What isn't? Of course, you guys know how I always like to do this. I focus on what changed from the open, right? That's my focus. Let's get to the action. First, off the top, up about 0.75 for the day. You have healthcare overall as a sector. I've been talking about healthcare now for it seems like 2 months. Of course, healthcare was one of my main areas to watch in 2023, and that was at the beginning of the year. And now we're getting into May, and we're really seeing that work out, right? At first, it didn't work out. We were actually seeing declines at the beginning of the year. That was right around in this area, right? This is January, right when we started. You can see we were kind of up there. We declined, but now we've gone past that level and looking like we want to actually use that as support and take the next level up higher. So healthcare, definitely an area that I will be watching for some trades coming up. What are some areas in this? Let's go to the industries now. We talked about the sector. Let's take a look into the industry and see what's hot there. Of course, today you guys can take a look at it, and you're going to see that some of these are up already. Biotech names having a decent day today. Let's go to the high cap names to make sure that we stick to the bigger ones. We'll see what happens here on these biotech names, but let's go through some of these. All right, so you can see here we got RXDX. Of course, that one making a big leap up today. I see IC getting a little bit of a leap. ABCM here, biotechnology getting a nice little push here. We'll see what happens to some of these and if we can continue higher or not, but not a bad move there from some biotechs on the day. And I'll keep watch on these to see if they can continue moving higher. Let's go to the drug manufacturers, the major ones. We were looking at this for a while. Now we got some recent pullback action. Last week, Tuesday, it looks like you guys got 2 or 3 days of some nice pullback coming right back down to levels where these stocks were. Of course, this was a really strong area just recently. You guys can take a look at Lilly. Lilly was one that we were watching for a 330 move. I actually went in this one right here, got stopped out at 325s, and then this one came through the 330s on the next time. Missed that entry, and that's how quickly it can go. From 330 to 407 now, nice 20% move, and continuing to move higher today with a nice breakout to the upside, 407.09. You guys can take a look here at some other names that I think can really start getting moving. One that got moving today, Bristol Myers. Keep your eyes on this one. This one's interesting here off the 68. Just started getting moving today and has been really weak since last week. Last week, it had about 3 or 4 days straight red. We'll see if this one could start making its way back. You can take a look at some other names. NVS on a little bit of a pullback. Johnson & Johnson looks really good here. I actually really like this one. I was watching this one earlier today to see for a nice little setup for a continuation. Look at the daily pattern on this. This looks really nice. Nice little build up. You can see the trend line here. If we can get through that, go towards 166 close, it doesn't look bad at all. We'll see what happened there if it gets to the next level. It's good to see you guys out there. The Crow, you guys know what's up out there. Dano, it's good to see you guys. Hammer, what's up out there? How we doing? All right, let's keep going. Wow, Triple BY has 6 decimal places. Oh, good Lord. Let's just say we're staying away from Triple BY, but let's keep going. Silver and gold, interesting moves this morning. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that, Walter, when we get into basic materials. Let's keep going. Let's take a look. Johnson & Johnson, nice little setup. I'm going to be watching this one. I like this one for a swing. The main thing is I would want to be closer towards 162. I'm closer towards the resistance now, so I'd be kind of stuck in the middle here. But I am going to keep this one on watch. Johnson & Johnson looks like it's going higher here towards the close. Nice hourly levels, going sideways, about to get through the resistance. Let's see if it gets through that 164.15 level. All right, let's keep going. That's Johnson & Johnson. Pfizer starting to bounce off the bottom, but this one's the weakest one out of all of them, I would say. And, of course, AbbVie definitely took a hard hit last week. It looks like they reported bad earnings. There had to be something here on Thursday. I need to go looking into a little bit more of what happened there with that AbbVie situation. But you can see it's starting to come back and starting to fill some of this gap. We'll see what happens to these stocks. Let's keep going. Let's go to the healthcare plan names as this starts to kind of bounce right back. And I've been looking for this one to start making its move right back to the upside. And this is a nice little move, nice little push back, and now we can start seeing that it's starting to hold the 470s as support. This is ELV, Elviance Health, and there's some other names in this one, so I'm going to keep watch. Remember, we were looking at CNC, and we were trading this one just here down at the bottom, looking for this one to actually make a move, and now it's actually starting to make a move higher here. We'll look to see if this one can keep going up. Cigna bouncing back after kind of getting hit hard on their earnings, starting to work their way back. This isn't the hottest area, but it's something that I'm going to keep on watch. Let's keep going. Let's go to an area that I've been looking at, diagnostics and research. I wanted to see how those stocks have been setting up here. We can take a look at some of the big cap names to see how that's going, but doesn't look too bad on the day here. Let's take a look here. All right, so you got DXCM. You guys can remember I traded this one, actually got a nice win on this one, and it turned right back around. So I'm going to actually look to see if this one can catch a bounce in the next couple of days and just come right back up through the 120s. This one doesn't look too bad. DHR definitely got hit hard last week, now starting to make its way back. And I do like the trading setup overall, but it really needs to get back here at least to 260s. So I'm going to set alert around 254. We'll keep watch. Diagnostics and research area. Medical instruments and supplies is definitely an area that I'm starting to see get hot. Look at the industry outlook here. So remember what we talked about this show, right? We talked about where the money's rotating to, right? Well, look at this area right now. Look at the volume bar that you're getting on this. Look at that nice pop of volume. That just shows me something that, hey, maybe they know something that I don't. Look at this. Started to get going here around the 3,800 area. And this is an index, an equally weighted index. And you can see, yes, we were downtrending, but have snapped that downtrend and now starting to push. We could get a pullback day or two, but these look like good opportunities. Let's talk about stocks in this area and what stocks are making move as of recent. ISRG, of course, Intuit Surgical. This was off of earnings, has been gone up, came back to support, now pushed a little bit higher, pulling back. BDX. This one looks interesting as it really starts to push and looks strong on a monthly chart. This one really starting to get going here, and normally doesn't and struggles up here towards the 270s. We'll look to see if it can break through that 270s this time and push up there towards the 280s. BDX. ALCs, another one. This one's kind of recently kind of starting to get a little bit of a move. I don't know this one too much, so I'm going to stay away from this one. But there's a couple of other ones that I'd keep on watch. RMD was one of our top watch, and man, did I miss a move on this one on Friday. You guys, we created this line here on 420. Of course, you guys know I left on 422. I was looking at RMD as a potential nice little runner, and I even drew the way that the play I was looking for. I was looking, of course, we drew this on 420, so this was on this day. I'm going to highlight it for you here. So I didn't know where it was going to go, but I was looking for a little bit of a pullback bounce off the 200 and then really starting to get going. You can see it even gave you another opportunity off the 200 and now has really started to push. So RMD, nice little pullback opportunity. I'll look for 230s on pullback to see if I can jump in this. And the last one in instruments and supplies that I'll call out, this one was given by, of course, Market Structure Edge. This was Tim Quast. He was talking about it this morning. So BAX, I'm going to put this one on my radar, has started to get moving as of late. Couple of weeks in the green already, so maybe we get a little bit of a pullback week. 46 seems like a good area. If not, back down here towards the 42. Baxter's International. All right, let's catching up with you guys in the chat. Gregory, I'll take a look at INAB. Which one's that one here? Let's take a look there. Biotech. Ooh, a cheap play. I see you, Gregory. Don't worry. We can take a look at it. INAB is pulling back here. Had a recent run to 4. I kind of like the pullback. I can't blame you for taking a look at this. You know, one of the things is I always look for that move right back down. Kind of like 100% retracement, and then look to see if you can find some buyers again coming in. Volume is starting to get a little bit of a bounce, but not enough volume, I think, to really drive this through too yet. But who knows? Maybe tomorrow this gets enough to really get that next drive. INAB, that's Innate Bio Inc. I don't know exactly what they do, but it doesn't look too bad. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at some other names. GDC. Oh, man, the coal play of the year, maybe. Holy crap. No one told me about this coal play. Come on, man. You guys know I'm like Santa. I like bringing the coal. Oh, nice play here. GDC. I don't even know why this one's getting that lift all the way up there towards 40. But hey, momentum starts going. Look at all the gaps. And you are definitely seeing this stock halt multiple times here. But what a move there by GDC. Nice outlook there, Crow. Appreciate you bringing it up. Hey, it's a coal stock. Did BTU move? Nah, it didn't move. That just goes to show us that it might just be kind of more of this stock. AMR, not really moving either. CEIX, not really moving. So it isn't a complete breakout in the coal industry, but this one doesn't look too bad. I'm going to keep CEIX on a little bit of a watch to see if this one can move, but let's see if we can actually get a move back up into this 70 area. Looks like we're getting support around 55. Just needs to start getting moving there. Let's keep going. Let's go to the next industry. We're in industrials now. I'm going to keep going through the sectors in the industry. Why? Because I missed out all last week. So I'm trying to find some plays versus taking a lot of plays right now. We got to keep looking underneath the hood. So today's that type of day. If you got a stock out there that you want to look, or an industry sector, let me know in the chat. We'll take a look underneath the hood. All right. Hammer Saw says, I like CEIX. Yeah, it's an interesting chart and it's a nice play. Bubba plays. Sup, bro? How come I don't see any movement on FRC? I have some shares stuck at 351. Any thoughts? Or I have a problem in my account. No, the truth is it's not trading right now. I'm pretty sure it's on halt right now. And I don't think it might not reopen. Let's just be honest. It isn't trading. You can clearly see that on the chart, and that's why it's stuck right now. So what I would do in your situation, I'd call my brokerage, right? You need to go ahead and have a conversation with them. I can't give you financial advice, so I can't tell you exactly what to do here in the FRC situation, but I would definitely get on the phone line with them and figure out if it does come back open, how will I come out, right? What will happen in this situation? Right? Will I get some JPM shares? What's going to happen in this situation? That's what you need to be finding out about FRC. I can tell you, at least for me, stay away on FRC. And the big reason why I played KRE last week, of course, you guys see it coming down today, but the big reason why I played KRE is because I didn't want to have so much exposure just to one regional bank. And I did play some long regional bank, and I made some good money on the KRE, eventually selling it on break even. I took some profits like always, but KRE coming down strong today with that FRC situation. I'll get back to industrials. Let's talk a little bit really quickly about the financial services. And you are starting to see them kind of fall off a little bit here. So one thing that I'm going to start pointing to is that, yes, we did finally get back into another bank concern. Yes, JPM stepped up to the plate and took a lot of the good stuff. They didn't take the bad stuff. They're going to be looking a lot better in their financials overall by grabbing some depositors. But I'm starting to see some weakness in here. This chart looks pretty weak to me and doesn't look like it wants to continue going. So I think we could start seeing a little bit of some topping action in the recent banking situation. And you can see how Bank of America kind of turned down today. This is one that I'm starting to see that maybe this one actually starts going away and we start seeing another move down. And of course, why? Because I think you're going to start seeing some more regional bank concerns. Of course, you could see maybe PACW disappear. I think you're going to see a lot of consolidation slowly but surely happening in the regional banks. So are regional banks the place that I want to be long in? Probably not. Are the big banks that are the area that I want to be long in? Probably not. Because let's just be honest, even if they do get the lift, like JPM should have got the lift today, look, it just got stuffed. And that shows me a little bit concerned, right? And so we need to be watching what happens. I don't think these are the biggest opportunities, but like always, you guys make your own investment advice. We'll see what happens. All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is going on out there. How we doing, team? JP Morgan bought it. None of the equity. It's gone. Laugh out loud, said Hammer. Hey, that's just how it is. And the truth is, when we're trading, we always need to keep this in mind that stocks can halt, stocks can disappear. Always keep in mind that we're not trying to put all our eggs in one basket. Easy way to get your money tied up, or worse, lose it all. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at what else is going on. A great scanning. Live trade. Nah, come on, Rick wants. We'll see what else is going on out there. Cute appointment. Did we get another run there? Nah, it didn't even do anything. What about that other one? SGN. What was the one that Crow? What was the one that we traded this morning? With Ryan. I know Ryan killed it on that one. It was a biotech. But let's keep going. Let's go to industrials now as we keep going with the sectors in the industry outlook. A couple areas that I want to look in here. First thing I want to look into is the turnaround that we've seen in Deer and Cat. So Deer and Cat definitely got hit hard as of late. You guys can see it. They're getting shorted on each pop. Like when they pop back, boom, they get a hit. They pop back, boom, they get a hit. So slowly but surely starting to come back down. So one thing that I would keep in mind is that Deer loves to make long pullbacks and then a ride back up like it did here. Long pullback and then a long ride up. So this could be a part of a long pullback. We could actually still continue to see this come down. So I would want to see Deer get above 385 first. But if it doesn't get above 385, look for potentially maybe you could even switch. I could even switch back to the downside and maybe play it right back towards the 370 spot and lower towards the 360s. So these actually look to me like they could actually turn around and continue on the downtrend. So I'm not going to be going long on these, but I also might actually look for a flip on these. So you can see here, Cat, look how this has gone up here multiple times and rejected. It just tried to get towards the 220. If it blows through that 210, it could easily get towards a 200. So I kind of like these for the short outlook, but we'll see what happens with farm and heavy construction. All right, there's something, another area you can see recently, aerospace and defense, quick pullback right back to support. So this is the support area, the 360s. Lockheed Martin has been bouncing off that plenty of times, and now we're getting another bounce there. Will this bounce last? I don't know, but I can tell you at least you know kind of your levels and your outs. You can use kind of maybe a trend line on the recent action on the hourly chart. This looks interesting above the 470s, back towards the 472 area. But of course, you just got to keep in mind that there is some support here. But if that goes, you got to be careful because the longer term chart, the next support is all the way down there towards kind of like 450s. So I wouldn't want to be caught on that move. We'll see what happens there on Lockheed Martin. All right, nice call on Lockheed Martin. Yeah, and this one's an interesting one. I mean, I played it. Remember, you guys, I was looking for the play towards 500. We got the move, but it quickly pulls right back down. All right, another area that I'd keep on watch is Honeywell. We talked about Honeywell 2 weeks ago when I was here. I was actually in Honeywell. I closed the trade on Honeywell just because I was going to be gone. But this has really started to get going. I don't know if I would have been able to hold through that Wednesday pullback. It was a significant pullback, but you guys can see it. It's starting to get going now. And I really like looking at Honeywell on a weekly basis and monthly basis. So we'll look to see if this can get through the 220 area. I really starting to see this get stronger and stronger. And there's other names in diversified industrials that are staying strong to show me that, yes, the industry is looking good. Let's talk a little bit about those. Okay, so you guys can see here, I'm going to show you the diversified industrials overall outlook. This is the overall outlook. This is an equally weighted index here, but I'm going to look to see if this can get right through that 3,400 this week and really start pushing back towards the highs. Okay, and what am I going to be looking in this? I'm going to be looking for another one right here that's been leading it, right? GE. We've talked about the 100 here before we got to there. Of course, shout out to my man, Christian Fromhertz. He also called this one GE. He was looking for the 100 play. I actually went for Honeywell when he talked about GE. So you guys can see Fromhertz got it right, with GE. I was in Honeywell, eventually got it right. But we'll see what happens in these names if they can continue going higher here. And there's another one in this industry that I saw getting going today, ITW. Look at this one now. As this one starts to push, look at the daily chart as this one started to push here. And I've been watching this one for a while now. Now it's really starting to get going. The last 3 days, what is this pattern? That's the advancing soldiers here. A little bit of a hold here and nice little push higher, almost to the 250 area. And this one could keep going. We'll see what happens in ITW if we get a new 52-week high. But that shows me more and more that Honeywell could just be getting started. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at what else is going out there. Smash it up, team. All right, let's see what else is out there. Medical toolkit chat from prompting the humans reading this. What's going on out there, team? All right, let's get out there. And Money Mitch is the new max headroom. Let's go. We're all bots. Yeah, what's up with the bots in the chat today? All right, let's keep going. All right, let's look at some other names here. Of course, we just went through industrials. Utilities are doing really well right now. I will tell you guys that with the XLU. I can look at the equally weighted, but I actually am looking at the XLU to see if we go back through 70. Bunch of highs here. 1, 2, 3, 4 highs all in the same area. Can we get through the 70s? That's what's going to depend on for the utilities. And if you look at Duke, for Duke, that's going to be the clear 100 resistance above. Can Duke get through that 100? We'll find out. Medical, you're not a bot? All right. That's all right. Well, we just didn't understand the chat. But hey, you prompt us. You keep that AI up for us. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at what else is going on. Crow said, I can't wait to smash the coal tomorrow. You smash that coal and get that energy, Crow. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at what else is making moves here. Utilities, we'll get out of that. Let's go to technology here, the fourth leading sector of the day. And it's been a ride, right? It's been a huge ride up here in technology. And let's just be honest, right? Let me take a look at Microsoft. How's that been doing? Well, it's been ripping higher, right? We've seen it gap up off of the earnings. And yes, I missed those earnings, but all I got to do is just look, right? I mean, it's higher, baby. It's up there to 305. And one thing that I clearly stated when we started seeing this golden cross on the big boys, right? Apple, golden cross. We drew this on March 23rd. It's continued higher. The big boys are leading us and going to continue to lead us. But be careful if the big boys turn around. Apple's the scary one this week. It could go higher and it could turn things all around. So we'll see what happens there. Apple, if it has really good earnings, man, this could be at 176, 180s by the end of the week. We'll find out what happens. I've been looking to see if Apple would make a new all-time high. Let's find out, team, this week. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at some other names. Technology names, of course, we already took a look at NVIDIA. One that I'm going to keep on watch is Meta. You guys see that higher. It's holding, and if anything, pushing higher right now in the recent hourly chart. So will it come back into the gap zone below 235 is something that I will keep on watch. We'll see if the market wants to turn around and if we can get that kind of move there. SQQQ's still kind of working here. Not really giving me much, but we'll see what happens if it wants to continue and make a new leg. I'm still in this one. Oracle right back to kind of break even levels. I could add on this name here. So I actually kind of like the move, but I'm kind of playing the opposites right now. So in that case, I'm not going to open myself to too much exposure and risk on the first day back from a week-long vacation. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at some other areas. Technology, consumer defensives now. Let's go to defense, right? Defense. We're talking value names. Let's get into some of these. One that I saw going, and please, chat, sometimes you guys got to help me out, right? I missed last week. What the hell happened in Molson Coors Brewing? Who is tapping all the beers? I know I drank some good beer on my cruise, but man, did I really get Coors moving that much? Seems like this is getting a nice move here and continuing to lift. With this one being mentioned, of course, I would take a look at some other brewers, right? Can we get some of the other ones to kind of get a little lift, right? I'm looking at maybe ABEV. That chart doesn't look too bad. It's nice and cheap. TAP, SAM. Can some of these get moving? What about SAM? Maybe Sam's gets a little bit of a lift. It is dropping right now. Who knows? But TAP, big move. All right, beer brewers being retrofitted with biomanufacturing. Interesting to take a look into that. We'll see what happens there. Let's keep going. TAP, definitely a nice move. Let's look at some confectionery moves. Look how this has really started to take off up there towards the high. Mondelez, of course, is going to be your leader there, and that's going to drive the industry higher, right? Well, look how this has continued to rip higher. So that just goes to show us that there is some plays to see go higher. And why is this? Man, have you guys seen the price of candy lately? It's like 3 or 4 times the amount. That's why I think you're seeing this lift. Look at Hershey's company. This is lifting higher. Sometimes we need to sometimes look around us, even at the grocery stores, we can get trading ideas, right? You look at the candies and you see, man, they're jumping up 3 or 4 times the amount. What is going on here? Is it really the price of the candy, or are they just making more to kind of meet the margins that they need? Well, it looks like they're rising the price high enough to meet those margins and look even better because these stocks are going higher. All right, let's keep going. Let's take a look at what else is going on. Tap Coors, Miller Lite taking some share from Bud Light. Oh, that's what it is, Jay. It's the battle against Bud giving Tap the lift. That's interesting. That's interesting, Jay. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at some other names, but definitely keep your eyes on the confectionaries. They do look good. Coke continuing higher. I remember we were looking at Coke down here before it reported. This was created on February 21st, updated on March 7th, and that was just here, team. That's when we were right here looking for the little move in Coke higher, and you guys can see that. Nice lead right back to the upside. Pepsi, nice lead to the upside. And why was I looking at these? And this is something that, sometimes I like get ideas. I go through them during my trading career, and then I want to write them down. One thing that I've heard about, and I've got this actually from the Trading Almanac. If you guys don't know, of course, it's kind of a report that looks at seasonality. And a lot of the times in the second quarter, we get a lot of turning into what? Into value names. So this is something to keep in mind for the long run in your trading career, that in Q2, a lot of the times we do get a move into value. We could clearly see it. It happened this time. Will it happen the next? Like always, it's patterns. It doesn't mean it's always going to happen, but it's definitely something to keep in mind. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at some other names. Costco was one that recently I was looking for the 500 move. It did do the 500 move. Now right back down below it. So we'll see what happens in this one. How's Walmart doing? I know it was trying to get through the 150 before I left. It got through that 150, pulled back here. Now it's kind of bunching up here, looking like it wants to go. I think it really needs to hold 151. You can clearly see some buyers are stepping in here underneath 151. Nice little wicks down below that. If it can hold it, maybe we can get towards that 155. We'll see what happens there in Walmart and some of the discount stores. Is Target starting to make a move? That one's the one that's been struggling. Dollar Tree, BJ is starting to come back down. That shows me a little bit concerned for Costco. That's one of the ones that I'm looking at for Costco move. Like if BJ can get through the 80, I think Costco's right back through the 500. But of course, we'll find out, right? Nobody knows. We'll have to wait. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at what other names are making moves. We looked at already. We looked at healthcare. We looked at industrials. We looked at utilities, technology, defensive names. We're going to run through it all here today. I'm going to keep rolling through. You guys throw some tickers. I don't mind taking some tickers in between here, and we can take a look at some other ones. Why is Amazon so weak today? That's interesting. I don't have the answer, but we can take a look. All right, so Amazon definitely weak today and starting to get hit. One thing that I talked about it, would we fill this gap? I talked about this. I made this on 420. We were just starting to make our way up there. We did fill the gap, but what did we do? We rejected to go higher than the gap zone. So that's a little bit of a concern, right? You could have had some trades going right into that 110 area and then selling. Now you're seeing the pullback right back into the 102s. So I'd look for maybe like the 100 area to hold because that was such a mental hurdle to get through. Now we'll see if that holds on the downside, but this could be coming back to kind of hold this trend line, which is towards like 99.76 and then coming back, but it doesn't look good on that turnaround on Amazon. And if Amazon turns around like that, a lot of the times, what are you going to see? I look to see Melly turn around. So Mercado Libre, I'll look to see if this can turn around right back down to the downside. It's been strong as of late, but if it breaks this trend, it could start coming back down. We'll see what happens on this one. It does look strong right now, and we'll look to see if it can continue trend. Another one that I look for this one with is Shop. So if Amazon's going to have a bad day, a lot of times I see Shop start to turn around, and you can see how Shop's starting to pull back a little bit. I'll look to see if I can get pullbacks on Shop, but definitely Amazon struggling a little bit today. And remember what I talked about. The big boys have led a lot of this rally. If the big boys come down, that's what I think eventually turns us back to the downside, even though we've been pretty strong. One stock that I'm keeping an eye on is Tesla. Tesla did fill the gap. I talked about this area for so long, and we finally got there. I created this on March 24th, and we finally got there. And what do? We bounce right out of it. So I'm actually looking to see if Tesla can get strong. If Tesla could really break through the 165, 170 on the upside, I think we could close this gap right back to the upside and close a new gap right here and close this right back back to the 180s. I'm going to keep an eye on Tesla to see what happens. Shop Thursday. We'll see what happens there. Melly reports on Wednesday. Ooh, a lot going on in the industry. Something that we'll keep an eye on. And I'm not in Shopify anymore. I did take it for a really nice trade. That was 2 weeks ago, but I got out, right? And I think that that's always important. And if you can get a good trade in one day, well, for me, I take it. I got like 7% on Shop on that one day that it had like a 10% day. So I think you always got to just find what you can get. And if you can get something quick, especially in this market, it seems like it's the market to take your money and run for the hills, right? Like always, you guys choose your own rewards and your own risk parameters. Let's keep it moving. All right, we'll go into Snap. I got you, Lucas. I know you mentioned it multiple times. I got no problem in taking a look at it. Let me run through another sector, and I'll get to your Snap. All right, let's go to energy here. Of course, we're talking oil trade, right? This is where it gets a little bit difficult. I'm keeping an eye out on what happens in oil because I think it's very important. I've traded it before to the downside, and I don't want to miss the next downside break, but I also am going to be keeping my eyes open for the opportunity for it to go higher. Right now, I'm looking at WTI. It's around 75, 74s in the 70s today. Did bounce off of kind of 74, 85s. One thing that I've been keeping a close eye on is, will we get back into the 72 range? 72 was where we were holding for so long. So I'm looking to see if we break back into the 60s. And if we do, yeah, I can go shorting on these oil names. But if we go back into the 80s, the 90s, well, we need to be careful because these can keep going higher. We'll see what happens. Let's go taking a look at some of these names. XOM, let's see how that did today. Definitely rejecting to go towards the new high and coming right back down. You can see right back towards 114 support. Will we break this? I've drawn this line for a while. This is what broke originally, and then we recovered it. We'll look to see if we ever break this line again and work our way back into the 110 area. As this comes lower, I don't want to jump in it too early. Of course, I could short here, but you're shorting at the top. We'll see what happens on this if it really starts to break 114 tomorrow and starts to come down. We can take a look at like Chevron rejecting the 170s. So will we get back here towards the 164s and breaking into this gap, fully filling it towards 163.31s? That could happen, right? SLB was one that really took off when that OPEC mention happened. Look how it's right back down, right? But if we can get this one right back up here through this trend, like through 50, 52, 54, well, I think SLB could make it to 60. It's always both scenarios, right? And I think that one thing that happens often as traders, we start getting biased towards one side. Want to have both sides of the scenario. If oil goes higher, what will I be doing? I could look at SLB for the move through 50 to 55. But if oil wants to come through that 72, get back into the 60s, I could also look for these to start to crack. All right, we'll see what happens on these oil plays. Definitely smash up the like out there if you guys are enjoying today's stream. And if this is your first time for Start Swing Trading, let me know in the chat. This is what we do here. We take a look at some swing trading outlook. Of course, I talk about some of my trades, and we could take some trades live, but today might not be the day that I take the most trades, as I'm just trying to get right back into the zone and understand the current environment. So important to do that. All right, let's keep going. We talked about energy. There's a couple more sectors to go through, so I'm going to quickly run through some of these. Consumer cyclical, something to keep an eye on. Of course, what is the cyclical area? It's the high beta names, right? You're going to see names go up just as fast as they come down, so you got to be careful. Remember, at the beginning of the year, we had a big run on these. Now they've pulled back, but started to consolidate. That's a good thing now. Now that we're getting some consolidation, I think it's just going to be about more along what happens with the market for the cyclicals, right? If we can continue going higher in the market and we can get towards the 420, have a new bull market, then yes, I think the cyclicals come up through and get out of this consolidation and push a little higher. But of course, that can all change. So keep your eyes on these names. Of course, we're talking about gambling names. We're talking about leisure names. You're talking about like kind of your cruise lines, right? I'm taking a look at them. Look at Carnival Cruise. You guys know I went on the Carnival. I went on Royal Caribbean, not looking too bad also. Look at that little pop. Well, doesn't look too bad as it really starting to get going. Maybe I got it going here. I can tell you one thing. That cruise was packed. And the next one was packed. And the one that got off before me was packed. So at least in that sense, I think they're definitely booking and making some money. And the casinos were popping. Let me just tell you about that, guys. I did lose in the poker tournament. I don't know how, but I just couldn't get any luck, guys. I kept getting like 4s and 6s and 5s and 6s. And you guys know we got to play the strong setups, not play the weak ones. So I was just there like on like the whole fold game for like 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Finally, I started playing. I lost a little bit, but hey, that's life, right? All right, let's keep going. We'll see what else is making moves. Consumer cyclical is something that we just covered. Real estate is an area that you can maybe take a look at. It's not something that I always have the best upper hand on, so I'm going to skip that. We talked about financial services. So one thing that didn't look good, though, for sure, is KRE coming right back down. This is why I want to avoid all regional banks now as I start to see this go lower through the 42. And this tells me that we could keep on watch. What? FAZ. This one looks good for a swing, maybe back higher. Of course, this is the financial bear outlook. And we'll see what happens on this one. You know what? I don't mind getting a little bit of a piece on this. It's just a little bit too high since we've been talking about this, right? Since 2 o'clock, it's already gone about like 25 cents. But I kind of like this one. It's going to be on my radar tomorrow. Definitely FAZ. It's a leverage play, more like the day trading outlook. But we'll see what happens to these. Another one could be, I could look at maybe Morgan Stanley for the short side. Remember last time I played this from 95 down there into the 80s. And now it's come back to the 90s and just rejecting hard right back down. Goldman Sachs, definitely one that I can look at for the short side outlook. I think this one has run into the earnings, came out with the earnings, started to go higher. And if it breaks this line, I think we could be easily right back down to 330s, 310s. I'm going to keep this one on watch. We might go short on the Goldman Sachs. We'll see what happens on these. Let's keep it running. Let's keep what else is going on. TLT having an ugly day, and that shows a lot, right? This is not a good thing to see the TLT come right back down. This was setting up for a nice up move through 110. Now right back down. So we got to be careful what's going to go happen on that one. All right, we'll see what else is going on. Let's keep it going, team. Of course, financial services. Last area that is in the red today, of course, is basic materials. Coal in the red today. Gold was in the green today. Let's take a look at GOLD, how that traded today. And it did have a pop in the pre-market, but just couldn't hold the move, right? So we'll see what happens on this one as we're starting to see gold really start taking a little bit of a pullback. Let's see how silver is doing. Also, same look, right? It's just not looking good right now. But if we start seeing a downturn in the market, will we see the gold trade pick up? Something to keep on watch. We'll see what happens there. And we got more bank concerns. I thought that could get the gold trade moving, but it seems like we're getting a little bit of some pullback action. We'll see what happens on this trade. And oh man, still kicking myself on the AU for getting out of this at 17. It's at 27. We'll see what happens on AU. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at some other trades. Of course, I've gone through all the sectors. I've gone through industries. We could take a look at other industries. If you guys have other ideas or industries you want to talk about, definitely bring them up in the chat. I hope that you guys enjoyed me going through all that, because that's a long process that we just did. And it's very important. It's what I do to try to find plays, right? A lot of times I'm running through the indexes, looking at the news, looking at the current environment, thinking, are we going to value? Are we going to growth names? Should we be looking at technology, healthcare? How are they been working? Is there a leader that's taking this to the next level, right? And all these kind of things play into this. And where the money's going is definitely important, because if you can catch the rotation, or maybe rotation against your type of plays, maybe you can save yourself some money. Because that's one thing that I learned in swing trade often, right? Is that sometimes when you're having a swing trade, you can have a name that's going higher, 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 and having a really nice pattern, a really nice chart. But then the overall market turns around and starts to rotate against you, starts to rotate against, let's say, maybe like technology overall. And then your trade goes, to the crapper, let's just say. Why? Because the market rotates against you, and you got to be quick there. You got to be nimble. You got to sometimes just take the profit, understand that you're getting some turnaround against you, and then run for the hills. Because in this market, it's definitely been easier to run than to go ahead and push those gains. But like always, you guys find out your own investment advice and the patterns that are out there. That's what I've been seeing. Definitely running towards the profit has seemed to be working, at least for me. All right, let's keep going. We'll take a look at some other names. Definitely, if you guys got some, throw them up in the chat. We can go through some of these. And that QH, yeah, it could get moving, but it could also stop moving too, right? I think that's one thing that you got to keep in mind. A lot of these are going to make up moves, you're going to make down moves, and you just got to be careful when you play these, right? Always understand your ins, your outs. And if you can do that, you can play these. But if you forget and you start to notice that you're slipping on plays like this is easily how you get wrecked. I'll be honest. It's how you get wrecked, right? Let's say if you went long here, 1,000 shares at $4, and you're looking for this to go right back to 5. It spikes up there to 483s for a slight second. It's back down through the 4. It's the 350. It's the $3. It's the 250. Easily can blow up your account. So just be careful out with these, right? That's all I want to put out there. I'm not saying that you can't make it. You can make it with these, but you could also break it. And there's one thing I always talk about. I don't want to let one trade make me or let one trade break me. This is what we try to keep in mind as traders always. It's not about one trade. It's about a sample size of 50, 100 trades. If I can do that well, I will be into my process and more than likely get back into the green. But if I can't do that and I can't follow the mentality of a 50 trade plan versus a one trade plan, well, then that's easily how you just go all in on one trade. And then when it doesn't go well, you kind of like kill yourself about it. You kill your mentality, your mental capital. So be careful with these. They can make or break your mental capital, especially if you don't use the right sizing, right? So for these, that's what I think it's all about. It's not that you can't go after them. You just got to know how to size into them, because you could easily get crushed. All right, catching up. What else is going on out there? All right, funny how leisure stocks pump when Money Mitch returns. Of course, man. Of course. Come on. I talked about it today. What recession? People are buying and spending money. Let's go to Airbnb. This is one I'm looking at to maybe take a shot in. And you know what, team? I've been thinking about swing trading this one. Let's go for it. I was looking for a little bit of a pullback, but I'm taking a shot right now. I just got the starter there, 121.42. I'm willing to take the shot. Let's go. Let's see what happens on this one. This one, actually, I was looking for a move underneath 121.50. I liked it at 120. The risk being off of like 119.50. It's looking really good on the daily. It had good earnings. It popped up. It had a short report that knocked it down some. I'm actually have to reach out to Edwin Dorsey. It's kind of funny. I might bring on the guy that has a short report when I'm going long the stock. What do you guys think about that one? I don't think there's too many out there that are willing to do that one, but I got no problem with it. I can bring Edwin on and we can talk about it. We can be on both sides of the trade, and that's what it's all about, right? We'll see what happens on Airbnb. I'm taking my shot to see if it can hold kind of the 119.50 area and get up there towards the 130s and 140s. Wouldn't be too bad, right? Risk about $2 to make what, $9 on the upside? Seems like a good trade to me. We'll see what happens. All right, let's keep going. There's other names that I'm looking at. I talked about it this morning. Talked about one called Nike, of course. And you guys can see how this was bunching up. I was talking about this on pre-market prep, how there was just this resistance right above it. And I was wondering if we were going to get through this level and then start pushing higher. And you can see here, through this kind of 127.20 area, it went right through that level and then started pushing higher. So we'll see what happens there on Nike. Of course, recent move in Crocs definitely taking a hit. Maybe Nike getting a little bit of a lift as that one takes a hit. Crocs right back down towards the 120. Jay, where are you? What do I do with Crocs now, man? You're the Crocs expert. You know, sometimes there's people that see stocks better than you, and you got to admit it. I don't see Crocs well. I've been trying to short Crocs for a long time, and I stayed off to the sideline just because I don't feel like I got it down packed, right? Well, Crocs definitely making a huge pullback off of good earnings and then still coming down something to keep an eye on. We'll see what happens there in Crocs. All right, let's keep going. Definitely, I'm sorry for the spam in the chat. I'll go ahead and I'll get it out of there. No need to spam the chat. I'll definitely, I got a block button, man. I don't mean to ban you, but I will. Let's keep going, team. Let's take a look at what else is making moves. If you guys got to move, we got about 9 minutes left for the market here. Let's go back to the market, see how we're doing. We are definitely pulling back a little bit here towards the close. Got to keep this on watch, right? Because we could still see some pullback in the Qs overall. That's what I'm really kind of keeping an eye on. We'll see what happens tonight. MGM was one of my top watch today from, of course, live trading, and this continued higher. Did I want to take it into the earnings tonight? No, I would have sold it into the move today. But nice little move here in MGM higher. Then we'll look to see how their report does tonight to see if they can just continue pushing. It could be at a 52-week high really soon as this is really starting to push MGM. And you could take a look at Wynn Resorts, right? At Wynn. Can you say winning? Yes, it definitely is. They tried to get through 116. And if MGM has good earnings today, I think you'll see Wynn also continue higher. LVS pushing higher. Also, Las Vegas Sands, Macau news coming out, definitely keeping these pushing higher. And I think that, a lot of people are worried about recession, but these casinos and resorts are not showing it. So I think that, you can't overreact. One thing is for certain, I started to see even Penn turn around. Will Penn finally ever start making its way back? That's one thing to think about, as it's gone sideways here for about kind of 3 or 4 months. What is this? 11 months, almost a year down at the same area is Penn Gaming. Will Penn Gaming actually start making a move higher? Who knows? Keep it on watch. We'll see what happens. All right, snap for Lucas. Definitely, I got you, my friend. We'll take a look. And I think this is all about, of course, TikTok. And, of course, the clock is ticking for Snap. Will TikTok go away? If TikTok doesn't go away, I think you might say goodbye to Snap. I really do. I think you might say goodbye to Snap. I just don't think that it has the ability to compete with a company or a platform like TikTok. Yes, Facebook might be able to get through this. I don't think Snap can get through this. Snap was struggling for so long. They finally started turning things around with their advertising. But then again, TikTok comes, and TikTok is just too strong, man. Unless it gets banned, Snap, I think, in my eyes, is slowly just going to fade away. And that sucks because, at the end of the day, I'm not the biggest fan of TikTok, but I can tell you the truth, team. It's taking over. That's the truth. All right, we'll see what happens on that. And unless it gets banned, you ain't going to see the turnaround. And that's why I think you could also see Meta take a hit. Let's just be honest. Facebook isn't what it used to be. The only reason Meta's going higher here is because I think advertising has come back some, right? And so that's what I think is pushing higher, is that you're getting companies wanting and willing to spend again on advertising. Of course, there's still a rough macro environment, so that could always change. But Meta's made its way back. But I don't think this one's going to take that big of a TikTok hit, right? It could also, though, hurt its valuation in the long run. So keep your eyes on Meta and look at Pinterest. Pinterest also down there to 22. That also shows me more and more that TikTok It's going to come and eat this lunch too. So I think Pinterest also, you can maybe see decline right back down there towards the lows. Not stocks that I feel too confident about coming back. All right, we'll see what else is going on there. Walter saying Snap all-time chart always looked like a murder to me. Yeah, it did. And let's just be honest. It got back and it started making its way back. But it went, this is how it IPO'd. It was in the 20s. It made it all the way up there to $78, $80 in, of course, the boom. And it's right back down. Where? Way down there. And it could be coming to these. Like it was at $6 before. Why can't it be back there? Can it fill the gap? Maybe. But to tell you the truth, it's just too much risk there and nothing that excites me. All right, let's go ahead. Let's take a look. Tesla 140s, you think? Tesla to mid 140s, said Mike B. We'll keep watch. I mean, there's definitely resistance right above it around the 165 area. I want to see if we can get through that. Because if we can get through 165, I actually think we can fill the up gap first. Does that mean that it's going to fill 180 and then go to 200? No, I think we can maybe just get to 180 and then we'll see what happens there, right? It's all about catalysts. We'll just go to 140. I don't think so right now, but it's all going to depend on the market, right? Another thing to look about is look how this lines up perfectly, right? So where did we top out? We topped out on the RSI, the top of the RSI here, right? So this is RSI at the bottom here, a little learning lesson for today before we get out of here. So look how the RSI tops out and bottoms out in areas where we need to be watching, right? And so this is so important. I talk about this all the time. I don't care about where the RSI is. I care about historical reference to the RSI and what has happened in the past at those levels. So you can see as we were going here on the bottom side, what did we do? We bounced, right? As we came to the top side of it, what did we do? We topped out. And what did you get here? Boom, another kind of move back here towards the 90 and a quick rejection right back down. Now we're actually back towards this oversold condition, back towards the 16s. And that's where we started getting a little bit of the bounce area. So this could actually turn right back up and start making its way to the upside. Of course, if it goes through that 16, yeah, it could go lower. There's no guarantees, but I definitely use RSI to take a look at extreme moments. And is the stock oversold or overbought? Clearly, you can see right now, it's actually oversold. We'll see what happens there in Tesla. All right, we'll see what else is going on there. We got about 2 minutes left here. Any tickers you guys got left? If not, I'll take a look at the overall market as we slowly come to a close here. Airbnb, not looking too bad. I am actually just slightly into the green there. Going to keep watch on this one to see what happens tomorrow. I took my shot on it, though, and I'll keep watch. American Airlines, I did get stopped out on this one on break even on the trip. I just left it break even, and it did stop me out. But, man, this thing went to the 1270s and bounced really well. I did hear that there was some kind of American Airlines going through some union struggles right now. So who knows? Maybe they resolve those and this just keeps going higher. It's definitely something that I want a piece of, but I'm not going to chase it as it just made kind of a dollar move. I want to get back in it if I could, as close to 13 as possible. But of course, I was gone on these days and it just stopped me out break even. I was at 1306, just to give you guys reference. And it stopped me out on this day, but hey, that's how it goes sometimes. All right, that's going to do it for me today. Like always, you guys can find me on tomorrow morning, Benzinga, right here, or at Money Mitch BZ. Give me a follow on Twitter. Hit that thumbs up. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. Me talking about all the sectors, the industries out there in the market. We went through them all, looking underneath the hood. What is looking good? What isn't looking good? You guys stay with it right here on Start Swing Trading. I'll make sure to have some great guests on later in the week, reaching out to traders like Option Mike, Kristen Fromhertz, Anne-Marie Ban. You guys out there, if you guys have a trader that you guys want to see on right here on Start Swing Trading, you guys can always reach out to me, Mitch@benzinga.com. Hit the comments below, or just reach out to me on the Twitter in the DMs and let me know. I want to see this trader on, and I'll make sure to bring them right here for you. All right, we'll see you next time, team. Smash a like. I hope that you guys enjoyed today, and I'm really happy to be back with, of course, the family here. So let's keep pushing strong. Let's keep working on our skills, And let's see what swing trades we can find in the market. See you next time, team. Hit the like.